All right, I remembered. Good morning, everybody. I guess we can get started, or we can wait a few minutes. My name is Lisa Narig. I am the National Director of the National French Contest. And also with us today is Dawn Fiorilli, who is support at FrenchContest.org. So if you send an email to that, you will be writing to her with her cute cat ears. And Megan Dirks, who is AATF Executive Director, has also joined us today because she used to do support and just was happy to be here to support the contest. So I think we've got a pretty good crowd, so I guess we can get started. Let's see. Oh, well, sorry, I'm really bad at Zoom because I'm not a teacher, so excuse me. The goals today, we're going to give you a brief overview of the contest. So if you're not familiar with it, this will give you a good background of what it is. And we're going to talk about some of the changes that have happened over the past few years. First off, who can participate in the contest? All students are eligible to participate. We have different divisions for homeschooled students. If you have privately tutored students, if you have students on block schedules, students who are on a block schedule who aren't taking French, we try and accommodate all different students and encourage everybody to participate. In 2022, we had 42,900 students and 2,000 teachers participate, and we had every state except some of the Western states that don't have really active chapters, and we're looking to get those next year. So if you're from those states, come participate. For the people that don't know, what is the contest? It is a multiple choice test, and there are 7 levels. We have an elementary school test, which we call the FLES contest, and there are 30 to 60 items depending on the grade of the student. And then we have levels 01 to 5, which is middle school through high school, and that's a test that has 60 to 70 items depending on the level. All of the levels have listening comprehension, even the FLES, everything has listening comprehension. The FLES contest also has a speaking portion that's for the students that score in that have higher scores. And we have complete specifications on what's in each level on our website. And if we have some time at the end, we'll go back to that and take a look at it.
So I do quickly want to mention, because I can't let go of the concours, because I love it. I love it so very much. Our contest specifications are in 2 different formats. Last summer, 2 summers ago, excuse me, we realigned all of the contest specs to reflect the new world readiness standards for French. And that's really something that you can use to sell your parents and administrators, because it gives the contest specifications in a language that parents and administrators can really understand. At this level, your student can understand short text, or can synthesize information in a longer text, or can glean the main idea from something. We also have a more traditional specification format that shows the vocabulary and the structures that are eligible to be on each level of the contest. So if you just want to know, when do my students have to be able to identify the passé composé, you can look at those specs, but those would not necessarily be the ones that I would present to an administrator or a parent. But we do have both of them depending on how to meet your needs, and then also the needs of your parents and administrators.
And we have also added that to the FLES specifications. We have the I can statements at the end of the FLES specifications now as well. So talking about FLES, it's for grades 1 through 6. We have levels 1, 2, and 3, and all of the students in a level, even if they're in different grades, take the same test, but there's different divisions to put them in so that they're placed fairly. We have division even for immersion students and for native speakers. Since all the students in level 1, you may have students in grades 1, 2, and 3. We do make adjustments to the scores. We add points for students like in 1st grade, and like if they begin like a 3rd grader who begins French in 3rd grade and is competing against a 3rd grader who began in 1st grade. So there's point adjustments to make it fairer. Levels 01 to 5. The level corresponds to the credit or equivalent earned at the end of the school year. So if your students are taking French 1, they take the level 1 contest. If they're taking French 4, they take the level 4 contest. The chapter administrators are really good contacts. If you have questions about where to put your kids, you may have, some schools have different, they may do French 1 over 3 years, and your contest administrator or the eligibility chair can help you with that.
There were some questions, sorry, there have been some questions in previous years, especially with the impact of COVID. Like my French 2s really aren't real French. I mean, they're taking French 2 for credit, but they're not at the level that they would be. Everyone else is in that exact same boat. So your level 2 students need to sign up for the level 2 concours. It is not fair to back them off a level and enroll them in the level 1 concours. So everybody else is in the same boat. It's not the way the concours is scored isn't like a test that you would give in your classroom where everybody in theory would get 100 because you've taught all of the same material. The concours is scored on a percentage scale set off of the top scoring students. So all of that will even out. So if you think, oh, my level 2s aren't really where they're supposed to be, my level 4s aren't really where they're supposed to be, pretty much everybody else is in that same boat, and that'll all come out in the wash.
We do have, as I said, we have different divisions in FLES. We have different divisions in levels 01 to 5. Your students who come to you fresh, they've never had any French whatsoever, they'll be Division A. The students who may have had middle school or elementary school would be Division B. Division C are for students who are native speakers or who have parents who speak French. And then we have divisions D and E, which is, for block schedules. So if you're on a block schedule, you would do D, and E would be for students who maybe had French in the fall and aren't taking French in the spring, but they still want to keep active in French. So they would take the Division E contest. So like I said, we try and find ways to invite all students to participate. Enrolling students, registration is all handled on the national level, and your local chapter contest administrator is a great source of information. There's also information on our website. We suggest that you sign students up early as possible. Their contest registration, when they're registered for the contest, it includes review material, and they'll have access to all of the levels of the contest for the past 7 years. So you can use it in your classes, your students can use it for review. There's lots of ways you can use it. So if you sign up earlier, you'll have access to it for a longer period of time.
And all of our, the contest is multiple choice. And so the review materials are listening comprehension and reading comprehension, and it's all self-graded. You do not have to grade anything. The site will grade it for you. You can, like Lisa said, assign this for homework. It makes a really beautiful sub-plan. If you have to be gone for a day, we'll just assign a concours. You can then log into your teacher portal and see how long your students took on it and the score that your students got for this level concours. And all of this review material is included in the cost of the contest. And so it's really a vast library of review materials. For your weaker students, they can bump down a level. If they're in level 3 but need a little bit of help, they can bump down and do some practice concours at level 1 or level 2 to review clothing and colors and places in the city. And those students who are really advanced or pushing, want to do more, they can level up in the review materials and try seeing what the level 4 contest looks like or what the level 5 contest looks like. And students will have access to this review material all through the summer. So those parents who say, I want my child to do something over the summer so that they don't lose their French, or those really, I don't want to say overachiever, but those very motivated students who really want to stay in the language, they will have access to this review material until August. So they can work on it all summer, or if you're required to assign summer homework, this is it for you, and it self-grades, and you don't have to really come up with anything.
And you'll also have access to it as the teacher. So if you want to use it and share it with your class, you may have students who aren't signed up for the contest. You can use an activity or a listening activity with your classes and project it in the class and share it with your students also. So there are a lot of materials available. The cost is $5 per contest if you're an AATF member, and it's $10 per contest for non-AATF members. Some chapters add a chapter fee. It's a per student fee, and that's all posted on our website with details of what's included in that. But each teacher needs to register his or her own students. That's just so that our registration, your students are reported to you and not to another teacher. The preparation, like Megan we were talking about preparation of what students need. Since the contest is not what you teach in your class, we just say that you should do everyday classroom activities. They don't need to cram or anything like that, but use the sample contest so they get familiarized with the format, because that may be different than what you use for your tests. And if you email Dawn at support@frenchcontest.org, you can access right now the 2022 contest. And so you can see what it looked like last year and try it out. And you can even invite your students to access the 2022 contest now. So if you want to see if they want to try it, sometimes I've heard stories about like the students, or some of the students aren't registered and they saw their classmates doing the activities and they thought, hey, that looks fun. And then they decided to sign up it also. So you can use it now to start encouraging students. How to encourage student participation? Start early. We've probably missed most back to school nights, but parent teacher conferences are coming up. Start talking about it now with your kids if they do the practice tests now. A lot of times when you tell parents about it, they get so excited because it's a way to recognize their children. So it's a great way to get them involved. And that can sometimes encourage your administration to say, the parents will encourage the administration to do it. We suggest that you can give a quiz grade or an extra credit participation points for they're participating in the contest. And then this is a funny one. You offer the top scorers no homework for the rest of the year, but you don't know their ranks and their scores until the middle of April. So, if you get out at the end of April or the beginning of May, that no homework isn't, they think it's a great deal, but it's not as good as they think. And then the funds that you use for the contest can come from your French club, from fundraisers. Some schools have students pay it, or some departments add it into the student fees. Have there been any questions? I know we're going pretty quickly. Nope. Okay. As we said before, teachers need to enroll their own students, and you can proctor your own students. In the past, you had to have a neutral proctor, but now you can proctor your own students. And you also need to verify that your school equipment and facilities work with the platform. And we really suggest, another reason to sign up early is some schools have a firewall. And so you need to have time to work with your IT department. Linco is really good at working with IT departments to get their site approved. But if you go on the day of your test, it may not be enough time. So you need to verify that everything works and be sure that you do it on the equipment that the students will be using. Because if they log in at home, it may be different than if they're testing at school.
Sorry. So
That's
students
okay.
will need headphones or earbuds for the listening portion. You cannot play the listening portion for the entire classroom. And the contest is divided into two different parts. There's a listening part and a reading part. So listening comprehension and reading comprehension. You can give the listening comprehension on one day and the reading comprehension on a different day. So if you are not on a block schedule and you don't have a nice 90-minute chunk, you can give one part on one day and one part on the other day. You can do reading first and then listening. You can do it in any order that you want to, but you can split it over 2 days. You can split it over weeks. You can do part A on Tuesday of 1 week and then part B on Tuesday of a different week. But once a student begins a section, he or she has to finish it in that sitting. It's not fair to save and then start it the next day and come back, because that violates contest security. But
and it won't work. And it won't work.
It won't work, right? So, but you can spread it over 2 days if you want to, and it doesn't have to be 2 consecutive days. You can do the contest anytime within the contest window. That I get that question I used to a lot when I was support. Like, what's the day for the Mississippi contest? Well, there is no day. You pick the class day that works for you. And we really, really recommend, please do not wait until the very last day of the contest period, because inevitably there will be a fire drill, a student protest, inclement weather, delayed start, something, and then you've backed yourself into a corner, or somebody's laptop dies, and then that student won't be able to participate. So please don't wait until the very last day. It doesn't matter that you haven't taught reflexive verbs to your French 2s, they'll be fine. They will figure it out. I'm not saying you have to do it the first week, but please don't wait until the very end, because then that makes everybody else have to wait longer for their results. So we try to be accommodating, but there comes a point where it's just, we can't accommodate anymore.
So where and how do students take the contest? First off, FLES takes 30 to 60 minutes, depending on which level they are. The little kids only have to do listening comprehension. Levels 0 to 3 have 60 minutes. Levels 4 and 5 have 75 minutes. because one of the sections has reading and listening combined, and it takes them a little bit longer. So they have a little bit longer for that section. And generally it's 30 minutes and 30 minutes for section A and section B. And then level 4 is 45 minutes and 30 minutes. And like Megan said, students in a level, they don't have to test at the same time. If you have a mixed level class, you can test them in the same room. Since they're wearing earbuds, it's secure and the questions are randomized. The answers are randomized. So students can't say, hey, which one did you use for that one? It won't work. You can do it after school, weekends, during class time. And sometimes some schools have done in-school field trips, and we will still continue to offer remote at-home testing. We just ask that, that you have to fill out a remote proctor form, and parents should not be the proctors. Results come out for the FLES contest. Since we test a little bit earlier for that, they'll get their raw scores in mid-March, and then the students that are eligible to do the speaking part, and so the rankings will come out in mid-April after those are all graded. The teachers can see student scores as soon as your students click submit. So as soon as they finished, you will see how they scored, but just keep in mind that those are the raw scores and it doesn't compare them to how other kids did. The contest may be really difficult in a certain level one year, and so a low score may not mean anything. Once you do the rankings and compare them to the other students, that could be a first place winner. You just don't know until the end. So you need to, if you give your students the scores, let them know that this is not how they did. It hasn't been curved yet, so to speak. So because national and chapter rankings and percentiles have to wait until everybody has tested, which is in mid-April. And then the final results that we give to the teachers is a chapter and national rankings, and then national percentiles and awards. And now we have a sample of what this looks like. On your Linco website, you'll get a spreadsheet, and this is what it looks like when you download it. And it has, the students' names, their level, your school name, teacher name, your chapter. This I'm going to ask them to remove. It's like the maximum possible points. And then there's their A score, their B score, their total score, chapter rank, national percentile, and then the award. So you'll have this, that it's one thing, it's one report that's on your website, and we do take these down. So if you tested last year, your report is no longer there, but I do have them. So if you didn't download it, just contact me and I can get them to you. But we take we reset the site every year for to not keep student information on the internet unnecessarily, and some schools prefer that. To talk about prizes and student recognition, the highest prize is the platinum medal and a plaque, and that goes to the first place national, which is just the highest score. So that's what I was saying before. The highest score in a level may be 69 out of 70, and your students may get a 68 and they think they didn't do well when they actually got second place. So that's the first one. Gold medal is 95th percentile and above, silver 94th, 85th. You can read it. Bronze 84th through 75th, honorable 74th through 50th. And then, like I said, the chapter and national ranks are provided, but they don't determine national awards. And since there's only 70 or 60 questions, there are multiple ties at a rank. So just because we get that question a lot, oh, I got a second place. Well, yes, you and every person who earned that score got a second place. So there could be multiple ties.
But if you look at this, 50th percentile and above earns an award. So we are very generous with prizes. So don't ever feel like, oh, my students aren't that strong, they're not going to do well. Have them try it. This is really wonderful practice for the AP exam. Our levels 4 and 5 contests follow that same AP exam format where they listen to something, read something, and then answer some synthesis questions. So the earlier you can start them with that practice, which is all included in your registration fee or your enrollment in the concours, then the more practice they will have with that. And I'm going to tell the story that I always tell. My very last year of teaching high school, my students all did the contest, and I had a student who was on a 504 plan, and he was really sweet, but French was not really his best subject, and he didn't participate a lot, didn't raise his hand, and he did okay in class, but he ended up with a mention honorable. And so when I gave them all their certificates and we took the picture, like, you could just see the pride in his face, because it had probably been a really long time he had gotten a certificate or had been recognized for academic ability. So it really boosted his self-esteem, and his parents were really sweet about, they said it really meant a lot to him. So anybody can participate, and I would encourage anyone to participate, because you just never know. I had A students who didn't end up getting a medal, who got a mention honorable, and then I had my sweet 504 boy who got a mention honorable, and he probably didn't expect to do very well. So you just never know, and those moments are worth it for that student to be validated in his French studies after struggling through 1 and 2.
And then we have a question.
Yep.
It's not really a question, actually, it's a comment. I just wanted to say thank you for changing the way you give the medals, and you recognize more students, because it used to be like pretty tough.
It was like the top 10 ranks, and that was it. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. It used to be very difficult, and comparing to the Spanish teacher and the Spanish exam, it
Right.
was so not fair. So thank you so much for, making it more comprehensive, I guess.
Yeah. Well, actually, we've been, for the past 3 or 4 years, we have been meeting with the Spanish exam and the Italian exam and the German exam. And we are actually, as a group of associations, trying to do something similar. So when we hear comments like that, we're all going to be using a similar platform. We're all going to be on Linko now. So if you have a Spanish teacher who doesn't know how to use it, you can show them how to do it, or vice versa. So I think it's going to be really good that language teachers are all doing kind of the same thing in their own way. Let's see. The other recognitions, the chapters do different things. Some chapters award prizes for ranks 1 through 10. Some of them do the top student in school. Others do, I know like some chapters will send prizes based on enrollment in a chapter. So they might send Amazon gift cards or something to the teacher to give for prizes. Others give gift bags. There's all different things that the chapters do. And so you have to contact your local contest administrator to see what they do locally. You can do school awards, like Megan was saying, you may have students who didn't do great, but you can give the best in class, or they did a pre-test and then they did really much better at the end of the semester. You can give an award for that. You're not limited to just doing our awards. You can make up your own. And if it encourages your students, we encourage you to do that. Some chapters have a distribution des prix where they have a ceremony. Some do it virtually, some do it in person. I'm hearing some are going to be starting back in person this coming year, so that's really hopeful news. There's school awards ceremonies. We know that students they can get their awards during the big school senior award ceremonies. Board of Recognition, Board of Education. My son had one where he went to the Board of Education meeting, and the mayor presented him as a certificate. And then we do encourage local newspaper and press. We have a sample press release on our website. And I know Jean just posted in the chat that she had her students wear their medals for graduation, which I just think is such a cool idea.
I think if you teach elementary, so I'm not sure if we have any elementary or immersion teachers here, but I know that there's a school district in Georgia that has all of their Grand Concours winners from their elementary programs go to the school board meeting and parade in front of the school board wearing their medals and holding their certificates. And what better publicity for your program could there, for like elementary school French programs, could there be than all of these cutie patootie kids who have done well in the Grand Concours, showing the school board that they have won something in a nationally recognized and endorsed by NASSP contest. So I mean, that's publicity for your program that is so invaluable.
The timeline, like we said, you start talking about the contest now, highlight the contest, talk it up, contact your local contest administrator. Hopefully you've been hearing from them. I know some of them have been sending out messages. And then you can create your teacher account now on the website, and we will have the store should be open by the end of October. We're planning to have the store open so you can order the contest early. You can renew your AETF membership now, or you can wait until December, but do it now because then you're all set for the coming year. Megan, you want to?
Yes, I do. So AETF membership runs on a calendar year. So if you renew now, you're not double paying for these fall months that are coming. Your 2023 membership will kick in January. So I had a teacher who said, well, I always wait to renew until January because I don't want to double pay. You are not double paying. You're just paying in advance for a membership that will start in January. And now like processing time is really quick. Once you renew your membership, that means that when you register on the contest store site, then you will receive member pricing right away. Unfortunately, it's not a live membership database. And so if you renew on the AATF store at 8 o'clock and then order your contest things at 8:05, our stores don't talk to each other. So you won't see member pricing. And we can totally fix it. And it's easier to fix it with things in your cart rather than before you check out. We can always go back and fix it pretty much at any time. But if you renew your membership early, you're not double paying. That just ensures that you're marked active in our system. And then when we send that list to Lisa of those active members, that ensures that you get the proper pricing right away.
And Heather has a question.
Sorry. Okay, I had to unmute myself.
Yeah.
So I'm brand new to this. I'm not a member yet. If I sign up as a member now, how does that work for registering my students for the winter months when they take the content or the test?
So what I would recommend is if you're not an AATF member now, we do have an 18-month membership. So it's normal membership is 55, this is 75. So that would allow you to participate in all of our fall contests, like our fall trivia contest during National French Week. And that would ensure that you're receiving member pricing as well. And I'm happy to walk you through that. So if you want me to walk you through that, I can totally do that. But in the online store, or if you want a paper form, whichever one, there is an 18-month membership. That's actually a really good value.
Okay, because otherwise I'd have to, if I signed up now, it would only be good until December.
Right.
And then it wouldn't be valid for the contest. Okay.
Right. So you have to do another $55. So that's why this 18-month is like a super sweet deal. And now is like the perfect time to do it.
Okay. Thank you.
Welcome to the AATF. We really want you to join.
Thank you. Me too.
Then you need to get your list together of the students that want to participate and enroll your students. And we have give yourself time for this because it does take a little bit of time, to invite your students, and you don't want to do it when you've got a million people coming in and interrupting you. It takes a little time, but it's not hard. So, and we'll be glad, Dawn and I are available to help you through it. And Linco Chat is excellent. They answer chat messages within 5 minutes during the workday. So on the weekends, you may have like the CEO of the company may message you back at night, but you can't depend on it. But during the weekdays, 5 minutes, they have a guaranteed response time. So, but just give yourself a little time and do it when you're not in the middle of lunch period or something when everybody's coming in and bugging you. In the spring, you administer the contest, and the prizes and certificates are included in the cost of the contest. Our awards, the medals are. And those are automatically sent to you. You don't need to order them. 2023, we only have online testing. People still ask if we have paper tests. We have nothing paper. The contests are completely developed online, and they're only developed for online testing. So we don't even have a paper copy to send you. We don't print anything ever anymore. We are extending the dates of the level 01 to 5 contest through April 5th this year. We're trying to see, we've had requests to stretch it longer, but we want to have results out by April 15th for the schools in the Southeast that get out early. So we're stretching it a little bit because results came out so quick last year, and we know we can do that. So if you have like a winter break or a longer winter break, hopefully you'll be able to test by April 5th. We're always working to improve our test format, our registration procedures. And so with that in mind, we want to say, please send us your suggestions. A lot of the things that we came up with, like increasing the number of awards and aligning with the other associations, that came from teachers. So if you have ideas, let us know. We want to hear from you. This is kind of what the Linco screen looked like at the end of last year. I didn't know if I should update it or not, but this is what the teacher dashboard looks like. And we'll look at a live one now. After you place an order, you'll have the different levels of the contest that you've ordered on the site. And when you click on it, this is a picture, so I can't go to it, but you'll see the different levels. And then this is how many seats you purchased in each level, and then how many seats you assign to students. So in this one, you haven't like invited a student to participate in that level yet. If you have questions on what all these things mean, there's a proctor guide here, a registration guide, how to invite students to your courses. So there's all kinds of help guides on your dashboard. And then at the end of the year, this is where the results, the raw data summary is that you would download. And as I was saying, go ahead, Megan.
Oh, I just wanted to say that if you are teaching elementary and you do have students who qualify for the speaking will also be done through Linko. So they will record themselves online. You don't have to email in a recording or mail in a cassette, like to get super old school. It's all done on the Linko platform, and there will be practices for those students as well. So if you're not sure what the format's going to be and those students want to do some practices, there will be some practice speaking, right, Lisa? And Laura, well, I think Laura's on here too.
Yes, she is.
There will be some practice speaking, but they will just record online. And this is really one of the benefits of the pandemic, is that students are more skilled at navigating online platforms. And really, there are a lot of teachers who are very attached to the paper and pencil, but the online just offers so much more flexibility in terms of you being able to proctor your students, being able to proctor multiple levels in the same room at a time. You don't have to worry about, am I going to get my contest on time? So I know some people will
ship them to me on time, or is FedEx going to lose them? Or
exactly. Or are they just going to sit in the front office and the secretary or receptionist doesn't tell me that they're there? And so there's a lot of flexibility with this, and the fact that you get access to all of these review materials, which I'm hoping we'll have time to look at, just so you can really see what we have for you.
And like I was saying, the National Italian exam and the National Latin exam, and I have NASSP, but that's not right. It should be the that's the Spanish and Portuguese exam is on there, and you know, I think it's going to be great. When you're ready to register, Heather, you're ready to register, right? So on the contest store, when you're an AATF member, we send you an email that has your membership ID in it. So you log in with your email address that you used for your AATF membership, and your membership ID is your password. You can change that, but that's what the initial thing is. Every year, if you ordered in the past, we do remove the orders every year and start fresh. So you have to, because we have to verify your membership every year. So you will have to log in again this year. If you're a non-member, you would just go to the store site and create an account and order, and hopefully join AATF while you're there, because you can do that on the contest site and you'll get the reduced fee for the member price. Here is to get more info. We have lots of information on the website. I'm going to try and go through that real quickly. It has the dates, the specifications, information about the different levels and divisions, and ordering information and deadlines. And that's always kept pretty much up to date. Your chapter administrator, there's a website, there's a page that shows who your local contact is, and that's a great person to get in touch with. Just also to get in touch with a local person. You might not have been involved with the local chapter, and they have some great activities, and the contest administrator will have information about that as well. And they can also help answer non-technical questions, like they're more familiar with your area, so they may have an idea of what level you should be in or what division. So they're just a good person to really get to know. We have an eligibility chair. If you have a really tricky question about where to put a student, George Diller is GT Diller UFL. He can answer those kinds of questions, the really technical ones that we can't do. And then Dawn, support at FrenchContest.org, is really good at answering technical questions and ordering issues. But you can always, if there's any questions, just contact us. And I'm available also at director@FrenchContest.org. So there's our contact information for more or contact details for more information. I'm going to see if I can.
Having been support at FrenchContest.org for a long time, I will say it is easier to fix ordering mistakes before you check out. So if you could just please double check, for the love of Dawn, you could please double check your cart just to make sure that you have the right number of students in the proper levels. Like, don't order 40 level 1 contests and then, oh, but I really needed 10 for level 1, 10 for level 2, 10 for level 3, 10 for level 4. Double check your cart before pulling the trigger, before checking out, because it's easier to fix it before you check out. So if you're not being charged the member price and you are a member, then leave things in your cart and then contact us, and it's easier for us to fix it before.
Well, and the other reason for that is we do have our orders are uploaded every hour. So if you place an order within an hour, depending on when you place the order, but you know, they're updated hourly. So if you place the wrong order, it's going to be wrong on the content on the Linco site. So make sure it's right before you, like she said, before you place the order. Here is, you know, our website. We have a really good page that I'm very happy about. It's like, if you need reasons of why to take the contest, we have, you know, some teacher testimonial here, you know, students, what they've said. We have some lovely videos from the representatives of the French embassy about why to take the contest. And then we even have a video here. We had students film themselves saying why they took the contest. So this is, you know, from our homepage. We have the contest specifications here, and they're also available as a PDF. You don't have to read them now. You can go to our website and see them, but it shows just the different levels, you know, and in that format. And then we also have the format that shows what the vocabulary they need to know, and the structures, and then the cultural awareness in each level. And again, this isn't a PDF. You can download it. You can print it out if you want to look at it, or give it to your administrators.
And those were recently updated as well. So a couple summers ago, when we realigned the concours specs to the world readiness standards, we also surveyed teachers and said, do these concepts line up with a more communicative based curriculum? And so we did end up shifting some things around and removing some things. So our traditional specs have been recently updated, and our world readiness aligned specs are recent as well.
Yep.
Jorge, there are these dates for you.
Here are the dates. They're on the page. And then this is our approval for NASSP to show that, you know, some schools that's a requirement. This is the local contact page. So let's say that you are in New York. Here's the list of all the New York people, and you can just click on their names, and you will send Denise Manns an email and she will answer you and give you some helpful advice. Let's see, we have, I mean, so this is just like, I just wanted you to see that the website is here, and there's, you know, enrollment info, local contacts. Anything else we should show, Megan? I don't know it. Yeah. And then
let's look at Linco.
I say this is the Linco site. So when you log in, this is what it looks like. This is my teacher account, so it's what you would see. This is what it looks like for teachers. And then these are the different modules. That's the different levels. And everybody, like I said, if you contact Dawn, she can give you a link to it, and you can access this now. So if we look at the level 1, there you can see the different parts, and if you click on the part, you can click on preview, and then you can see what it looks like. And so there's just the instructions, and then these are the questions, and then you can play it. I don't think the audio is hooked up.
Mon anniversaire, c'est le 10 novembre.
Did you hear that or no? I can't tell. Yeah, okay. So then you pick the answer, and you know, you can go through it, and then at the end, if you click submit, it'll show what your score is. This is actually not how the students see it. They see it in a better format, but you can see all the questions, and you can do the answers, and you can try it out. The students see it in a test format. I should have set up my student account. Sorry, I didn't. So that's basically what the level 1 looks like. I don't know if we want to look at, like, we were talking about level 4 and level 5. This is with the really good prep for AP. You can see that we have a video here about la vache qui rit. But then afterwards, there's also a reading, there's an infographic about packaging. So there's reading and listening together, and then the video with it. So they're very good. And then there's also, I don't know, what Megan, what do you want me to show?
It's really excellent. It's really excellent practice for the AP. Or something. Oh, all of the audio is individual. So if students need to listen to it multiple times, they can, but they just need to keep an eye on their time. There will be a timer, and we can accommodate extended time requests. So if you have a student with an IEP or a 504 who needs extended time, we can accommodate that. We do ask for 48 hours notice, not 4 minutes. Not like, oh, my students are entering right now and I need extended time, but at least 48 hours notice, we can totally get an extended time test set up for that student. So that shouldn't be an issue either. But they can listen to the audio multiple times. They just need to keep an eye on their time. And the contest will automatically submit if a student runs out of time, so they won't lose any of the answers that they had already selected. That score will be there for them.
So I don't know if you guys have questions or if you want to see anything and you want to ask me to show something.
Can they see the full library of review materials?
Well, right now we can only see, not in this account, hang on.
Not in this account, okay.
I have another account.
We'll see if we remember a password, because that's always.
No, my computer remembers it because I don't. Well, yeah, see, mine's different because it's different than everybody else's. They can't see it right now.
Okay.
Let's see. Yeah, because I have like the big administrator account. Right now, there's just the sample 2022 available. But you will have, the way this looks now with the modules, when after you've signed up students under level 01, you, for example, you will see 2022, 2020, you'll see 21, and then you'll see all of things going back to 2014. So you'll have quite a few levels here that we just don't have access to now because we don't have a review set up.
So any student that you enroll will have access to, what did you say, 2014, Lisa?
Yes, 2014,
2014 through 2022 for the elementary school for FLES and levels 01 through 5. So any student that you sign up will have, will have access to all levels, all years. So it's not just their level, it's all levels all year, which is great for those students who want to do some review or students who want to try and get ahead and just try the next level.
So any questions, or do you want to see anything else?
For level and division, we do have some specs on our website to help you. And so we do ask that if you have level and division questions, you read the specs on our website first. And then if the situation doesn't really fit in with those specs, then contact George. But really, it's probably best to read through the level and division placement guide first, and then contact George if you have additional questions.
Well, we have like our eligibility rules here. It's on the eligibility rules where they talk about where the divisions are. And then we also have really detailed ones that are very specific, you know, like students with one French speaking parent. And so that is available on our website for you to read through, and the contest administrators can help you with that too.
And when you purchase your contest, when you go to enroll, when our store opens, all level 1 students will take the level 1 contest. So you purchase the level 1 contest, and then when you go to invite students to your class, then you will assign the division. So if you say, oh, I need to buy a level 1C contest and I don't see it in your store, it's not. You buy the level 1 contest and then you assign that student to division C.
And then, yeah, we are recording this, and we can share the PowerPoint as well. So is there anything else? Yeah, there's demographic questions, Denise. Yeah, the students have to complete a survey at the beginning, and it's more, we use it for information, actually, you know, because we're compiling information like how many years have you taken French? Are you happy you're taking French? And it's interesting to see the trends over the years. So that's just the kind of questions we ask. It's super easy. If there's nothing else, then I guess we say thank you all for coming. We will have this posted on our website, and we will also have it on our YouTube page because Megan's trying to be a YouTube star. So thank you all for coming.
And if anybody wants to hang out and look at that 18-month membership, I can show you, I can walk you through exactly how to do that.
Merci.